Hi, everyone. I want to share with you a message because of the time of the calendar that we're on. It's so important that we connect this time in the calendar that we're going through. On Sunday is Tisha B'Av, and this congregation has many programs to help us connect to this time of year. Tonight, which is Thursday night, we have a program with the 9 days kollel. On Sunday, we have explanations. Sunday morning, videos being shown around the world in various Jewish communities. Sunday afternoon, of course, the highlight, perhaps the reading of Eicha, as we try to begin to connect to the various tragedies that happened to our people. But whether we want to talk about the history, or whether we want to talk about the halachos or the gemaras, or the stories, there's one very basic idea that we just need to internalize as a community. And that is, we are united. Oh, we want to strive for unity. People say that all the time, of course, but whether we want to strive for unity or not, we are united. We are united. It cannot be the way the Almighty made us. It cannot be that one of us is doing really, really great and another one is doing really, really poorly. We're connected. You can't be right next to somebody else and they're doing great, you're being poorly, and that doesn't impact you. We're all interconnected. If somebody's struggling, then we're all struggling on some level. This isn't a concept we're striving to achieve. This is reality. This is reality. We have to understand that what happened to us as a people in Yerushalayim, or HaKodesh, the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, we need to realize that it cannot be. We are a community. And sometimes we are a community whether we like it or not. Sometimes it's enjoyable to be a part of the community altogether. We celebrate that unity. Sometimes we don't celebrate that unity, but we're still interconnected. So it's a very basic idea. It's just not to forget the ABCs. Tisha B'Av in 3 weeks. There's a great story that brings us home that I wanted to share with you. The story is said about Rabbi Pesach Krohn's brother who was traveling in Israel. And he was dressed in yeshivish Haredi attire, black and white, hat, white shirt, dark suit jacket, and he gets into a cab. Taxi driver looks at him and gives him a very cold look. They're in the car, he's getting a very cold shoulder, he's very uncomfortable. And it seems like this is the last place the taxi driver wants to be. Taxi driver is seemingly, he's got a shaved head, he's dressed in very secular clothing. He really seems to look the part of a completely Chiloni, secular Israeli, and the tension is being felt in the car. Rabbi Krohn's brother is there. As the story goes, the driver is zipping around the streets of Yerushalayim, just trying to get this ride over with, trying to get to the destination as fast as possible. All of a sudden, this Kalman Krohn, he, blessed memory, as the story goes, he turns to the driver and says to him, Anu Achim, we are brothers. We are brothers. Driver retorts with attitude, for whatever reason. He says, Anu lo Achim, we are not brothers. You are dati, you are religious, and I am not religious. We're not brothers. So Kalman Krohn turns to the driver. He says to him, my Rabbi taught me that those who are dati and those who are not dati are brothers. The driver turns to his passenger, his customer, and says, who is your Rebbe? Kalman Krohn responds to the driver and answers him, says, my Rabbi was the head of the Nazis. May his name be erased, Adolf Hitler. Yimach Shemo b'zichro, may his memory be wiped out. The driver is startled. His mouth is open. He loses control of the car a little bit and swerves. He's quiet for a long while. He stops the car, turns to Kalman, and says, you are 1 in a million. Kalman takes the driver's hand and says to him, we are together, 2 in a million, because we are brothers. The moral of the story is, our enemies teach us a lesson. That we think of all the ways we can divide up ourselves, our communities, our philosophies, our outlook. We can come up with every rationalization. This is right, this isn't right. This is the way to live Judaism, that's the way to live Judaism. We're fooling ourselves. We're fooling ourselves. They didn't kick this group out of Israel or that group out of Yerushalayim. They kicked us all out. The lesson is that whatever has been destroyed can be reconstructed. Whatever was destroyed was once built. And it's a collective effort. It's a collective identity. It's who we are. The Torah doesn't say, this community needs to do X, that community needs to do Y. Of course, you have Kohanim, Levim, different responsibilities, but in terms of, whether to go ahead and say Hallel, with the bracha on Israel Independence Day or not, or whatever the case may be, artificial kind of these deep divisions that sometimes get blown out of proportion. It's not the way we're made. It's not who we are. Tisha B'Av is about this idea. Everybody sits together on the floor. We go through this experience. We realize our collective history. We realize our collective history so that we might yet appreciate our collective destiny. It's not possible for one Jew to be successful and the other one not to be successful because we're too connected to each other. We have to believe that. We have to understand that. We have to gravitate towards those goals and agendas and this outlook, this healthy outlook. This is what Tisha B'Av is about. We're going to be spending a lot of time for the next several days talking about this. And certainly, we hope that it'll make a difference so that Tisha B'Av won't be Tisha B'Av anymore. We won't be sitting on the floor, be singing and dancing together, celebrating who we are, what our great faith, what the Torah is all about. Thank you and have a great Shabbos.